Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star episode number 445 based on novel. So let's start. That red-faced warrior walked toward Luo Feng. Then, with a grin, he said, "Milky Way, you think after changing your look with that messy hair we wouldn't be able to recognize you? No matter how hard you try to change your looks, your godly power and aura remain unchanged. So long as you get a little nearer to us, we will be able to recognize you right away." Luo Feng's gaze swept through the surroundings. "There must be more than one of you. Captain and the rest have arrived," the red-faced warrior replied via voice transmission. "They are scattered all over the place. Your power. All of us witnessed it for ourselves from the edge of the true god-level battlefield. Being able to escape so easily even though you are pitted against several true gods. I honestly wouldn't have the confidence to handle you single-handedly." A distance away, over 10 figures were approaching from the chaotic Xianyu Mountains army. Luo Feng's sweeping gaze recognized one of the figures as the captain with a gigantic curved horn. The others were the batch of warriors under his command. One by one, those warriors communicated with him via voice transmission. "New recruit, Milky Way, you are much more powerful than we expected. Your powers are indeed quite impressive. We are willing to accept you, for you to be one of us." Even the captain was looking at Luo Feng, and he said, "New recruit, Milky Way." "Captain." Luo Feng looked at the captain who had looked down on him when he had just entered the Python River army as a new recruit. At that moment, this same captain was all smiles and appeared to be so winsome. "Previously, we did not accept you because, normally, new recruits are weak. But your power has earned our recognition." The captain said this in a most straightforward manner. "All you have to do is contribute those true god corpses and share them with us. From then on, within our little troop, all the warriors will be fully convinced of your loyalty. I will also willingly give up my position as captain, and you will take over. Yes, we are willing to recognize you as our captain and serve you. So long as Milky Way is willing to lend us a helping hand, give us a chance for survival." Milky Way. One after another, the warriors all looked longingly at Luo Feng. Even the captain wore the same expression, as though he really was selflessly willing to dedicate the position of captain. Luo Feng's gaze swept across the warriors before him again as he asked, "For real?" "Of course. This is nothing but the truth. We will make you our captain right away," the warriors said, speaking as though they were all of one mind. Luo Feng smiled instead. But his smile reflected his indifference as he replied, "It's just that, whether you all live or die. What does that have to do with me?" Instantly, the warriors all stood frozen on the spot when they heard this shocking question. "I thought none of you were bothered about the survival of new recruits?" Luo Feng said with a sneer. "And now, we are talking about friendship in times of war?" He had long seen through all this. What captain? What friendship? What jokes? The cruel, brutal army selection process had caused numerous warriors to be annihilated, and the more experienced warriors were used to seeing such annihilations. All they wanted was to become true gods for themselves. Who cared about this pointless position of captain? These warriors remained under the captain's command only because he was strong and powerful. If it were for survival, they would most likely have abandoned him right away. 18 warriors, including the captain, all wore unpleasant expressions. They had not expected Luo Feng to be so detached from the situation. "Milky Way." The curved horned captain transmitted his words with great anger. "There are now 50 true gods out there seeking to capture you. They have also guessed that you must be among one of the large groups of law masters of Xianyu Mountain. The battlefields of law masters are scattered all over, and there are quite a few under the watchful eyes of true gods hiding in the distance while sweeping the battlefields to find you. Not far from us, in the sky high above, there is already one such true god spying on you here." Luo Feng raised his head to look up into the distant sky. "I know," Luo Feng replied. "But it is too far away. It won't be able to recognize me. But we can inform it," the curved horned captain said. "All we need to do is make eye contact with it. Right away, it will notice this area. We just have to twitch our lips, and from the shapes of our mouths, it will know what we are trying to tell it." "Oh?" Luo Feng laughed. "The moment you are discovered," said the captain, "that true god only needs to give a single command, and right away, a multitude of law masters from 9 Smoke Marsh will surround you. By then, you will have no way to escape at all." He stared at Luo Feng. You are going to be annihilated. Choose. You can choose to hand over the majority of the true god corpses and bring some back safely to the military camp, or you can get nothing and die here. Make your choice, the warriors spoke up, also staring at Luo Feng. Milky Way, this time around, we have very slim hopes of surviving the mission. If you force our hand, we can all die together. If we have to die, we will take you along with us. Luo Feng shook his head. Then you can all die. I will take these 35 true god corpses back to the military camp. With that, he turned around while roaring, "Kill those bastards from Nine Smoke Marsh." He immediately transformed into flowing light and charged off into the distance. The 18 warriors, including the captain, were shocked. They had not expected up until now that this new recruit, Milky Way, could be so fearless. Could it be that he truly thought he could escape when under the siege of an entire group of top figures from Nine Smoke Marsh? Although they were shocked, they were extremely fast in reacting. Even as Luo Feng was on the move, the 18 of them also set off. You want us dead, new recruit, then you shall die, too? Loathsome Milky Way. You deserve to die. You are the one who forced us. Some of the warriors wore fearsome expressions with their eyes filled with madness as they charged at Luo Feng. At that moment, Luo Feng, who was continuing to fly at high speed, only responded with a cold smile. The second volume of extermination was fully executed. The speed attained was wicked, so fast that it quickly shook off the warriors. You think you can keep up with me? Luo Feng could not be bothered with them at all. Among the numerous warriors who were after him, the curved horned captain was the fastest. Milky Way, don't you dare think of escaping, he shouted. The captain had initially thought that this new recruit would be worried about his situation. He had assumed that he could use this as an excuse to coerce Milky Way into handing over some of the corpses. Yet reality greatly differed from his expectations. This new recruit, Milky Way, had no intention of escaping at all. The other warriors had not seen Luo Feng going crazy before, but the curved horned captain had witnessed his previous actions. He knew that if this new recruit was to truly get all fired up, the other warriors would not be able to handle him at all. Behind the captain, a gigantic pair of black wings appeared behind the captain. On the edges of these black wings were numerous black ribbons. The gigantic black wings had as many as a few hundred black ribbons, and it sped across the length of space to enshroud the area ahead. No matter how fast Luo Feng was, he could not match the speed of this weapon. Luo Feng's surroundings suddenly darkened. Looking back, he saw huge black ribbons that resembled numerous huge snakes moving quickly to enshroud the surroundings. Scram! Luo Feng shouted. He held two hammers. Because he had spent time among the many Xianyu mountain law masters under a disguised identity, and he did not want that faraway beast true god who had been snooping around the battlefields to discover his identity, he had purposely chosen a pair of hammers to use as his battle weapon. The two hammers each made an arc. With the energy of his godly power burning up fervently, the might of the two hammers was astonishing. When they swept through the surroundings, the black ribbons were thrown back a little. Unfortunately, such a slight delay was enough time for many black ribbons to form a huge black sphere, which quickly moved over to enshroud him entirely. What great resilience! Such incredible power! Luo Feng could feel the power of the ribbons through his hammers and could not hold back his shock. This captain did not execute any secret technique at all. The power of these black ribbons that appear to enshroud the surroundings is so strong. This does not make sense. Strong powers usually involved secret techniques. Yet the ribbon's enshrouding force alone was incredibly strong. Could it be an automaton-type treasure? Luo Feng quickly inferred a conclusion based on what he had seen. I must break through it with my blood ghost blade. If I hope to break through it, I need to execute my strongest blade technique. However, if I were to continue in this entanglement, I don't know how much time I will be wasting. I'm just worried that toward the end, I will be discovered by that beast true god. The captain and his new recruit, Milky Way, exchanged moves instantly. Although the other tribal warriors around them had doubts about the reasons why these two were engaged in battle, they held back their doubts. After all, from the sidelines, the attacks that Captain was executing merely seemed as though he was trying to restrain with a spiritual force weapon. The onlooker had their doubts. Even if there were past enmities, how could they be fighting at such a time? Could it be because of some victory spoils? Captain, your black cloud wings are impressive. Black cloud wings fly so quickly and has such great restraining powers. It is extremely adept in protecting itself. It is the absolute treasure to own for escape and survival. The other warriors were filled with envy. At that moment, the many black ribbons shrouding the black sphere suddenly took off into the distance at a terrifying speed. A bump unexpectedly appeared on the black sphere. It was as though there was a monster hidden within the sphere formed by the black ribbons, which was flying at a high rate of speed and forcibly pulling the black sphere along with it as it rocketed through the sky. Numerous black ribbons gradually tore apart to reveal an ancient battleship, and there seemed to be countless black ribbons entangled over the surface of the ancient battleship. These black ribbons kept the ancient battleship under layers of restraint, but the ancient battleship was still traveling at a speed that was continuously soaring as though it was not affected whatsoever. It was flying at such a super high speed. And the speed was continuously soaring. What? The captain roared, losing his cool. Such a strong flying power. Through his black cloud wings, Captain tried his best to manipulate the ancient battleship. But the ship was far too strong, it simply could not be shaken. On the contrary, the captain was tugged along to fly at an extremely high rate of speed in the distance. "Captain," said a voice. "I thought you wanted to bring me to see a true god? Let's go meet him, then." The ancient battleship pulled the captain along with it as it zoomed high up into the sky. How powerful the driving force of boat of Mausoleum was! If it released an outburst, would this universe master be able to block it? The battleship was extremely fast, and it was charging into the sky far and high above. In the outermost area of the sky above the battlefield, there was a winding and hovering beast true god. "Stop, stop," the captain shouted angrily. "Are you courting doom?" "Ha ha," said a voice. "Let's go see the true god and see which one of us is going to die." The ancient battleship was still advancing rapidly in the direction of the beast true god. The captain was extremely flustered. He knew he had stolen a true god corpse, too. Although the group of true gods from Nine Smoke Marsh were eager to apprehend Luo Feng. Luo Feng had kept himself hidden within that battleship, not a single breath could be detected from the outside. Most likely, that beast true god would not be able to verify Luo Feng's identity. On the contrary, it would first confirm that the captain was the first to have stolen a true god corpse. Then, they would certainly not give him a chance to escape. "You are so vicious." The captain was very angry, but he had no choice but to give up. The black ribbons that were pestering the ancient ship rapidly released their grip as the captain quickly detached himself from the ancient battleship. "You have an automaton-type blade, and even an automaton-type battleship? The driving force of a battleship is very powerful. Even my automaton-type black cloud wings are unable to stay within my reins." The captain hovered in midair as he looked helplessly at that ancient battleship speeding off into the distance amidst the grasslands of the marsh. He was filled with reluctance. "I didn't know you had an automaton-type battleship," he said. "That was why you were able to escape." He added through gritted teeth, "You escaped once before, but I don't think you will be able to escape again." A short while later, amidst the Nine Smoke Marsh army that consisted of a few thousand beast warriors, a multitude of beasts were roaring and yelling. Then they charged toward Xianyu Mountain. "Kill! We will kill you all, bastards of Xianyu Mountain," roared Golden Horned Beast, who resembled a huge lizard with wings. From the army of Nine Smoke Marsh, it took off and charged at Xianyu Mountain. Golden Horned Beast was with the Law Masters from Nine Smoke Marsh. Golden Horned Beast and the humans were from different races, so they had different auras. Even true gods weren't able to tell that Golden Horned Beast was actually Luo Feng. Besides, creatures in the world of Jin didn't have multiple bodies, so nobody would consider such a possibility. Up in the sky of Nine Smoke Marsh, 6 true gods of void space from Xianyu Mountain and Nine Smoke Marsh looked down. That was how he got away. That soldier is carrying a Law Master strange beast. Then neither his teammates nor the 50 true gods who went to look for him can find him. He must be able to leave Nine Smoke Marsh. All the true gods of void space sighed. Nine Smoke also looked down and sighed. He has 2 machine-type valuables. That boat must be a true god-level machine-type valuable, but it has great power, so it must be at the top tier. He's only a Law Master, so he shouldn't have been able to get such a machine-type valuable. It seems that those in the army think highly of him. The 6 true gods of void space knew everything that was happening down there. However, they hadn't expected that this talented soldier and the Golden Horned Beast were actually 2 bodies of the same great being. True gods of void space controlled the entire battlefield, so he knew about everything. However, they wouldn't and didn't dare to meddle. Nobody dared to provoke the hidden rules in the world of Jin. Months passed, and the war was coming to an end. How can you not find him? The captain was very upset in the army of tribal warriors of Xianyu Mountain. Though Nine Smoke Marsh is enormous, there are only a few battlefields where the law masters gather. That new soldier Milky Way didn't have anywhere to run. How could you not find him? The soldiers replied using their communications tokens. Captain, we really can't find him. We've searched everywhere. We can't find him. The soldiers didn't know that the captain had seen Luo Feng kill that strange beast True God. He knew the great potential this new soldier possessed. He planned to make friends with Luo Feng, but he chose to make attacks. He wanted military credits. He could live with failing last time, as he hadn't expected this new soldier, Luo Feng, to have a machine-type spaceship. However, it had been 6 months, yet they still couldn't find him. Impossible. Go find him unless you want to die? He's our only hope to finish the task. The captain was anxious. I can't believe it. I need to tell the other 2 teams. The captain sent a message to all the soldiers. You Luo, Fa, I'm going to tell you something now. Several months ago, a true god from Nine Smoke Marsh who was responsible for collecting the dead bodies of true gods died. His body was snatched by the new soldier, and that new soldier now has more than 30 bodies of true gods. He was hiding in Nine Smoke Marsh. Other than Luo Feng, all the other warriors received the message and made astonished replies. What? Impossible. That new soldier got over 30 bodies of true gods? How did he survive it? You can believe or not believe it, said the captain. I've chased him for a long time, but he's really good at hiding. The captain didn't want to say too much more. He believed that under the threat of the army, the other soldiers would also look for him, so it was a great chance. Humph. The captain thought. You Luo? Fa? They don't stand a chance against Milky Way. The best they can do is to help me find him. He didn't even think about you Luo and Fa. The strange beast and the soldiers were in Nine Smoke Marsh. Yu Luo transmitted his voice. We've only got around 20,000 weapons and armors, so we can only guarantee that 2 will finish the task. It seems that the battles between Xianyu Mountain and Nine Smoke Marsh are getting less tense, so it might end shortly. We have to determine whether or not Luo Feng actually has the bodies of true gods. Inspect it. Go look for the new soldier, Milky Way. The eyes of those strange beast soldiers gleamed crazily. The insanity stemmed from a fear of death. The soldiers of Fa were with Xianyu Mountain. We've only got a little over 30,000 weapons and armors, but this is far from enough. Without the war, we can't even hope to get 1,000 more weapons and armors. We need to look for the new soldier, Milky Way. Fa was humble and gentle, but when it came to the threat of death, he would still grasp at the last chance. Wu He received the message from the captain. Over 30 bodies of true gods? Milky Way? Wu He was shocked. He found it hard to believe. He didn't want to believe it. I've been collecting military credits for a long time, and I still have a long way to go until I reach 10,000 credits. How did he get so many bodies of true gods? Wu He didn't want to believe it, but, based on the message sent by the captain, he felt that it might be true. Otherwise, the captain wouldn't have made up such a ridiculous piece of news. Regret? Wu He deeply regretted his decision. If I had chosen to stay with him, I could have gotten at least 5 or 6 bodies from the 30 he had. All the soldiers who were sent to Nine Smoke Marsh were looking for the new soldier Milky Way, but they couldn't find him anywhere. It seemed he had already left Nine Smoke Marsh. Everyone's looking for me? Golden Horned Beast Luo Feng was in the Strange Beast army. He'd seen some soldiers in the distance, and he had even seen Wu He twice. Do everything you can. You won't be able to find me. Golden Horned Beast Luo Feng occupied the swamp, and half his body was in the water. The war had been going on for a long time, and both sides had suffered tremendous losses. Naturally, neither side had restrained themselves and didn't want to continue fighting anymore. Lots of strange beasts and tribal warriors had chosen to retreat. Finally, a soldier contacted him. Milky Way. Milky Way, it's me. Wu He. Golden Horned Beast Luo Feng smirked. Oh, Wu He, he replied. Have you gained enough military credits? No, it's very difficult to get 10,000 military credits, Wu He replied. Milky Way, I just received word that the captain, Fa, and you Luo, and the soldiers under them are looking for you. They want to get the true god bodies from you. They are excluding me because they think I am with you. Really? Luo Feng answered. Milky Way, we went into Python River Army together, and we're both new soldiers. I have lots of military credits to make up for. I just want one true god body. I'm willing to exchange it for valuables. I'm willing to give you a true god armor. Wu He was anxious. In his mind, both he and Luo Feng were new soldiers, so it should be easy for him to get a true god body for his true god armor. Exchange, said Luo Feng. In Nine Smoke Marsh? Wu He understood that Milky Way wouldn't want anyone to know where he was, so he wasn't willing to conduct the trade here. Wu He transmitted his voice. Let's go back to the camp first. We can do it in the camp. Smart guy, Luo Feng thought. Wu He had been collecting weapons and armor for a long time, and he was the child of North True Ocean. He might actually have some good stuff. You need to give me enough valuables, said Luo Feng. Otherwise, there will be no deal. Sure, Wu He said, relieved. He had been afraid that Milky Way would case talking to him. Luo Feng already had a plan. He decided to see how many valuables he could get from 10,000 military credits. Then he would ask Wu He to give him more. It was only 10,000 military credits to him, but it was a life-saving opportunity for Wu He. If the military wanted to kill him, not even his father North True Master dared to stop it. A few days after Wu He contacted Luo Feng, QFA also contacted him. QFA, however, didn't have enough valuables, so the negotiation soured. Do you think me a moron? Said Luo Feng. A trade outside the military camp? Ha ha. Then die? With that, Luo Feng stopped talking to him. He was being charitable. They could only live if he gave them the bodies. If they dared to try to negotiate terms with him, they would die. The war lasted for a year. True gods of void space showed up one by one, and the army of Xian Yu Mountain retreated. The Nine Smoke Marsh returned to normal. Let's go. The army from Xian Yu Mountain started to leave. Some of the soldiers who pretended to be tribal warriors hid at the periphery of Nine Smoke Marsh. We still haven't got enough military credits. QFA, Yu Luo, and the captain watched the army leaving. Without the war, they wouldn't have the chance to scavenge weapons. Now, it would be difficult for them. The strange beast soldiers led by Yu Luo all grew ferocious. Seize them. The captain and QFA must have lots of military credits. We'll seize those. Then we can have a chance to survive. Let's go seize some military credits. QFA bellowed as well. This is our only chance to survive, the captain said to the soldiers following him. All the soldiers chose to fight for military credits. Only the stronger ones could survive and get enough military credits. And if the three teams left separately, there was bound to be internal fighting within the squads. At the periphery of Nine Smoke Marsh, a golden horned beast was talking to three strange beast law masters. These were the friends golden horned beast Luo Feng had made during the war. They then left. Time to get back to the camp. Golden horned beast Luo Feng looked back at the endless Nine Smoke Marsh surrounded by mist. He didn't give a damn about the demise of those soldiers from Python River Army. He carried a great many military credits. The golden horned beast disappeared. After leaving Nine Smoke Marsh, Luo Feng rushed to the East Army military camp. Other than him, there was also Wu He, who had secretly left Nine Smoke Marsh. Out of the three troops of warriors led by the captain, QFA, and Yu Luo, who were all designated with a mission and were still within the Nine Smoke Marsh region, only the captain had managed to obtain a true god corpse. The other warriors, including QFA and Yu Luo, had not managed to gather enough military credits. They were all brainstorming possible solutions. Should they kill amongst one another? Should they continue to hunt? Or wait to reap benefits while the others did the job? They were all certainly going to do their best, but it was also fated that a single disaster-level mission would cause many of them to be annihilated. Finally, I have arrived. Hong. A lone figure appeared mid-air. That figure was none other than Luo Feng. Looking far off into the distance, Luo Feng could see the vast, boundless military camp. He revealed a trace of a smile as he bowed his head to look down at everything beneath. He could also see the long queue of tribal warriors and beasts who had come to join the army. Luo Feng flew into the military camp. Just as Luo Feng entered the East Army military camp, many wormholes on the peripheral region of the East Army military camp, within a contorted space, were transporting great beings. Shua! 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 Sure. 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 With almost every single moment that passed, warriors continued flying out from the various wormholes. Let's go. The mission this time around is considered easy. We can finish it quickly, and then we can have another era worth of free time. Let's go. Our next mission will be at the reincarnation level. Who knows how many from our troop will be able to survive? I hope this time we can earn more military credits. Then we can exchange them for a few more treasures from the military point. Then hopefully we can pull through the reincarnation level mission. Batch after batch of warriors, ranging from relaxed to stern to worried state, all left. The East Army was simply too big. With every passing moment, there were warriors leaving. And among those warriors leaving in a continuous stream, one warrior, who seemed to be an ordinary lawmaster, stood on one of the branches of an aged yet sturdy tree in the distance. I am here on the orders of Ancestor. Upon being accepted into the army, I might have been assigned with missions, but I have never gone about executing any of them. Here I am instead, just waiting. I have been here for so long, yet I have never laid eyes on that Milky Way Horde leader, not even once. The silver-armored warrior was very worried, yet, at the same time, he maintained a watchful eye. Milky Way Horde leader is very impressive, but so what if he is that impressive? Even if he did transcend reincarnation, he merely contributed another holy land to our universe ocean. To us of the Purple Moon Holy Land, he is no threat at all. The silver-armored warrior could not make sense of this situation. Once a holy land is established, it will be an eternal existence. My Purple Moon Holy Land universe is not afraid of any great beings, so I simply cannot understand why Ancestor holds this Milky Way Horde leader in such high regard. Even all the way here in this world of Jinn, he still gave orders for us to look into his whereabouts. The silver-armored warrior sighed inwardly. He simply did not understand. He was filled with doubts, but this was Ancestor's order, he did not dare defy it. The vast universe ocean was mysterious and unfathomable. In one of the two Holy Land universes, Purple Moon Holy Land, Purple Moon Ancestor was growing angry and dissatisfied. Have you discovered Luo Feng's whereabouts yet? Two nervous figures knelt before him with great reverence. Ancestor, previously, we watched the boat of Mausoleum entering the world of Jinn, so we followed it in. Based on his point of entry, if he wanted to make it to an army, it would be an 80 to 90% chance that he would end up at East Army. So after I joined the East Army, I have been watching the exits of the numerous wormholes, and indeed, I have yet to discover Milky Way Horde leader. We have certainly not discovered traces of him, Ancestor. Could it be that Milky Way Horde leader has yet to join the army? The two universe masters remained on their knees. He has the inheritance of the pulse of Du and Dong River. Even if he is in the world of Jinn, he is able to break away of anything easily, so much so that he is making a name for himself. Purple Moon Ancestor looked down towards the two universe masters and said coldly, not only do the two of you need to keep a close watch at the exit of the wormholes, but you also need to frequently inquire about him. The moment he gains a reputation, you will be able to find out more about him easily. Understood. Understood. The two universe masters answered with great reverence. Ancestor, our troop's mission. The double-faced universe master with 4 arms could not help asking. The two of you shall rotate, Purple Moon Ancestor instructed with great indifference. While one keeps watch and patrol, the other will go out to complete its troop's mission. When the mission is completed, return to the military camp to continue searching and investigating. The other team shall go out to complete their mission. This time around, very few of our Purple Moon Holy Land have entered the world of Jinn. Until the next era, there will be quite a handful of universe masters going over. By that time, you both will have a much easier time. Understood. The two universe masters were also earnestly praying for the next era to arrive. Get moving, then. Purple Moon Ancestor dismissed them with a wave. The two universe masters took their leave in a most respectful manner. Purple Moon Ancestor's face was blurred. Only a pair of eyes was visible. The gaze carried only a trace of feminine grace while the most of it was filled with endless murderous intent. I had thought that it was impossible to kill you. Yet, who knows? The world of Jinn has come into existence. In the world of Jinn, the number who can kill you, Luo Feng, is just too many. Luo Feng, don't blame me. You can only blame yourself for receiving that inheritance of the pulse of Du and Dong River. In the virtual universe, at the peak of Thunder Island, Luo Feng met with Primal Chaos City leader. Luo Feng. Teacher? Teacher and disciple sat apart from one another. I just completed a disaster-level mission and have gained quite a substantial amount of military credits, Luo Feng said. Completing this mission means that for quite a long period of time, I will be safe. I will try my best to uncover the mysteries of the entire world of Jin as soon as possible. You are the first of our human race to enter. Primal Chaos City leader nodded. Your responsibility is the greatest. Now, throughout the entire universe ocean, whether within the primal universe, another reincarnation era, the two great Holy Land universes, or other words, great beings from all over have their sights on the world of Jin. After all, the first batch to enter will be able to get hold of first-hand information and understand more about the world of Jin, which is simply too alluring. Luo Feng nodded. This was to be expected. In the universe ocean, various great beings yearn to transcend reincarnation, and also, they yearn to get hold of a supreme true treasure. However, in the world of Jin, there were many true gods of void spaces. Obviously, there would be a cultivation method that could allow a true god to achieve a complete breakthrough to attain the level of a true god of void space. This so-called supreme true treasure was actually the standard armor of a true god, and there was simply too many of them. Even various magical automaton-type treasures existed. The opportunity to transcend reincarnation, find supreme true treasures, and gain automaton-type treasures was too alluring. All the powerful groups in Universe Ocean lost interest in the three most dangerous lands instantly. Everyone was extremely excited as they set their sights longingly on the world of Jin. The only catch was that the chance to enter only happened once every era. Previously, the willpower of the primal universe origin came looking for me through ancestral god. Luo Feng smiled. Apparently, it is better for me to stay put here for the time being. The longer, the better. I will make use of this advantage of being in the world of Jin. Besides, this time, I have earned quite a bit of military credits. I may be able to bring some supreme true treasures with me when I return. After one era has passed, when I get out of here, I will send some of these supreme true treasures back. Primal Chaos City leader was delighted upon hearing such news. The world of Jin was the most important battlefield. Various groups of top powers would fight for it. Yet the human territory within the primal universe represented the roots of the human race. Only by expanding their territory could human talents multiply in numbers, and there could be continuity in the outburst of great beings being born. In this way, the human race could reach the level of the other two Holy Land universes or even surpass them. Teacher, I will head for the military point first, Luo Feng said. At the military point, I can trade military credits for inheritance and obtain various treasures. I believe I should be able to catch a glimpse of the more profound secrets of the world of Jin. When I have gained a better understanding of the military point, I will share the information with you. Get going, Primal Chaos City leader replied right away. But remember, don't take risks. The world of Jin is much more dangerous than our universe ocean. Luo Feng nodded. He might have been roaming and wandering about the world of Jin, but he maintained frequent contact and had regular conversations with his teacher. He was constantly aware of the various happenings in Universe Ocean. Right now, Universe Ocean could be said to be calm and tranquil. Obviously, various parties were eyeing the world of Jin. East Army Military Camp, Python River Army Camp. Luo Feng and Wu He arrived at the military camp at almost the same time. Milky Way, Milky Way. Wu He went scuttling over to Luo Feng, following from behind. The wings attached to its neck flapped continuously as it said, I have readied the treasure. You can give me one in exchange now. You have prepared it? Luo Feng looked at him jeeringly. There is no rush at all. I will go to the military point first. When I get back from the military point, we shall have a good talk. Wu He was somewhat reluctant. If Luo Feng were to go to the military point, it would mean he would understand the value of certain treasures, and it also meant that Luo Feng would mercilessly oppress him. But no matter how reluctant Wu He was, he did not dare to argue with Luo Feng. All he could do was move his hideous-looking face and smile. Yes, yes, he said. When Milky Way is back from the military point, then we'll talk. Milky Way, don't forget to keep one for me. He was most worried that this new recruit, Milky Way, would trade all those true god corpses for military credits. That would truly deal him a devastating blow. It would be the same as sentencing him to death. Luo Feng nodded. Don't worry. Luo Feng left the camp right away, feeling overjoyed as he headed toward the military point at the main hall. Python River Army's lake camp was quite a distance from the main hall, but Luo Feng seemed to be enjoying the scenery as he went along. He was in a good mood, so he strolled to the military point at the main hall. The military point? Luo Feng raised his head to look at the towering, ancient main hall. According to the rules, before accepting and after completing a mission, I would be qualified to trade for treasures in the military point. But if I turn up here without completing the mission, then I cannot enter. Luo Feng softly recalled the military rules, then made his way through the doors of that broad and towering hall. The moment he walked through the main doors, there was a sudden change in time and space. It was as though he had stepped into another world. Luo Feng was taken aback. What secret technique is this? Before him was a vast world, a world that was boundless, and there were many warriors scattered all over the place. Before each of them was a golden figure. Compared to the virtual universe, this is much more magical. Luo Feng secretly exclaimed. A golden figure appeared out of nowhere to land before Luo Feng. Luo Feng took a close look at the golden figure before him, yet he simply could not see its face clearly. The figure was completely enveloped in golden light. Warrior of Python River Army, you are on a mission. The golden figure looked at Luo Feng. You are not allowed to trade for any items at military points. My mission is accomplished, said Luo Feng. With a single wave, Luo Feng revealed the serpentine corpse of a huge beast true god by his side. It was a gigantic corpse close to 1 million kilometers long. The corpse appeared so suddenly that even the warriors afar were in for a shock. Ironically, within this military point, almost all the warriors were law masters. This video will end here.